Welcome to Old Man Sports Talk. I'm your host, Old Man Nate, and tonight we're going to talk about the NBA Finals. So, first of all, I got to give myself a double pat on the back. Man, Old Man Nate for the second time in a row was exactly right. I picked Denver in five, and they won it in five. So, um, honestly, and just saying it was over in five, you can tell it wasn't much of a series. Uh, Miami, it really could have been a sweep, um, but Denver relaxed in game two and lost a lead in the fourth quarter. I believe it was probably about a double digit lead. They lost it, and Miami managed to rally and steal game two in Denver. But that was it. They 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 lost both home games. Denver, I told you before the series started, Denver's a good road team, and Miami's not a good home team. And then they went back home and sealed the deal. A closer game than I anticipated it to be, but Miami, I give Miami credit. They fought hard. They didn't quit. They didn't lie down, but they just were not enough for the Denver Nuggets. Now let's see, what does that say about the NBA though? Because the two best teams, the best team out of the East, or at least the team that made it to the NBA Finals, and the team that made it to the NBA Finals of the West, supposed to be the best from each division, and it wasn't even close, a close series. And in the semifinals or in the conference finals, it wasn't a close series either. The closest series Denver had was Phoenix. Phoenix won two games, and so and that was it was close, but it wasn't close. Denver really dominated that series too. I say it's close. It was as close as one. All right, they won two games. Nobody else won more than one game against the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. That's pretty remarkable right there. They gotta just for that alone, they have got to be looked at as one of the most dominant playoff teams in a season. I'll put it that way. Not overall season. They didn't win 70 or 72 games like Golden State or the Bulls did, but they were much more dominant than either the Bulls or the Warriors were in the playoffs. Real quick though, if you haven't already, please take the time to like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications every time Old Man Nate's on video, or either live or on one of these videos. Also, take your time right now to go to oldmancoffee.shop. We got some t-shirts there. We got some tumblers, and you can also in your tumbler put some coffee. Okay, so take the time to do that right now, and go get you some merch. Help support Old Man Nate. So, um, really, what does this say about the NBA that one team dominated the not the whole entire playoffs? To me, it's a bad look on the overall balance of the NBA. If you sweep an NBA Finals, if you win in five games, that's those are bad looks on the NBA. I don't think they want that image. There's a lot of other outside distractions right now. Everybody want to know what's going to happen with John Morant. I think a lot of times, because this was such a lopsided, if you weren't in Miami or weren't in Denver or just a basketball fan in general, you're more worried about what's going to happen to John Morant than you are on who won the finals. And that's not a good look on the NBA. Is it going to hurt the NBA? No, the NBA is still strong. The fans love the game of basketball. But what I'm saying is, as far as hurting, is it doesn't look like it's a competitive league. You got a dominant team. Did they? I mean, their overall season record wasn't as dominant as other teams have been in the past. Like I said earlier, um, with uh, Golden State and the Bulls winning 70 games. The Bulls went on to win a championship that year. Golden State did not. Denver did not win 70 games, but again, when it came down to the playoffs at the end of the season, they were the most dominant team, and it wasn't really close. Now let's also take a look. Miami was an 8th seed and had to do a play-in to even get into the playoff. Could that have been a factor? Well, it had nothing to do with the West because, um, you know, Miami's in the East, so it didn't have any effect as how far as Denver got to the NBA Finals. They ran through uh, Memphis, Phoenix, and the Lakers. Ran through them real easy. And Miami, like I said, they were 8th seed. They upset the Milwaukee Bucks, which I called. Okay, go back and look at my videos. I called it. Then they had that was number 1 seed. Then they had to beat the 4th seed, or no, 5 seed New York Knicks, and so they beat Milwaukee in 6. They beat New York in 7. No, it might have been 6 also. And uh, then they played Boston, the number 2 seed, and beat them in 7. But they were up on them 3-0. They could have swept them, but then Boston woke up, started playing a little bit better basketball, and then Miami won Game 7. So they had to beat the number 1, number 2, and number 5 teams to make it to the finals. And could it be, would we had a better series if Boston or Philadelphia or Milwaukee had played Denver? I really don't think so. I think Denver was just that dominant. Boston had the capability, but there appears to be some issues going on there in the locker room. Rumor has it Jaylen Brown's not happy there. The new coach, I think, had a lot to do with the playoff. The reason they didn't make the finals, NBA finals. But yeah, Boston would probably been the only team that could have matched up with Denver, but I still don't think they would have. I'm not saying it would have been over in 5, but it wouldn't have went 7. Denver would have won probably, and still in 5, maybe 6. So, anyways, NBA season's over. We got the draft coming up here in a couple of weeks. Then shortly after that, you'll have summer league, and before you know it, the NBA will be up and running again. So, um, be ready for that. Again, if you haven't at this time, take a chance time to like and subscribe and ring the bell. That way you get notified every time I do a live or drop a video. I appreciate all you guys' support. Until then, we'll see you next time.